Welcome to Sac State. Thank you for whoever's clinking your glass. I appreciate that. Ooh, we could start a whole chorus. Glass clinking, go. Oh, I love it. All right. Wow, you guys quieted very quickly. Thank you so much. Good evening and welcome to Sacramento State's 2025 Distinguished Alumni Awards dinner. I'm Jennifer Barber, Assistant Vice President of Alumni Relations, Annual Giving, and the Sacramento State Alumni Association. As we gather tonight, we are mindful in acknowledging that the land that we use today was and continues to be occupied by the indigenous people of this area. Sacramento State acknowledges with respect the land our campus is on today was and continues to be the homelands of the indigenous people, specifically the Nisenan, Nisum, Pawanan, and Miwok. The larger Sacramento area and its rivers serve as a gathering place for many local tribes from the surrounding valley and foothills, including the southern Maidu, Patwin, and Winton. Sacramento State recognizes these lands and riverways as unceded traditional territories of these native peoples. We further recognize these California Native nations and respect their sovereignty. By offering this land acknowledgement, we affirm the university's commitment to build relationships and foster a university environment of success to better serve Native nations and communities. Thank you all for joining us tonight. To kick off our celebration, I now have the honor of introducing the evening's MC, Courtney Dempsey. A fellow Hornet graduate, Courtney knew she wanted to be in the news as a reporter, anchor, when she took a communications survey class here at Sacramento State. Since graduating in 1997, with her degree in communications studies, she has shared the daily news with the local community as the anchor of Good Day Sacramento, a show that she has nurtured and cared for since its beginning. Please join me in welcoming Courtney Dempsey, our MC for the evening.
Thank you, Jennifer. Woo! 97, I am very, very proud to be a member of the class of 97, but it does hurt. It hurts my feelings when I think about how many years removed I am from graduation. But I will always and forever be a very proud Hornet, so I'm so grateful. Thank you, President Wood, Dr. Wood, for having me on campus. I'm always here, always excited to be here for events, to see faces that I've seen several times before, and to also meet new faces. So thank you so much for having me this evening. I do encourage you to go ahead and start with your salads, and we can go ahead and get dinner started. I would like to take a few moments, though, to recognize our distinguished guests from university administration. So indulge me if you will. Feel free to stand, wave. Don't send any smoke signals because we can't have any fires in the building. But we do want to know that you're here. President Luke Wood and First Lady Idara Eisenwood. Members of the President's Cabinet and Administration, we've got Erica Cameron, Provost and Senior Vice President of Academic Affairs. Michael Reza, Vice President, University Advancement. Anisha Mitchell, Vice President of Student Affairs. Also, Mark Hendricks, Vice President of IRT. And also to all of our deans, Gladys Francis, Dean of College of Arts and Letters. Maria Indriga, Interim Dean, College of Social Sciences and Interdisciplinary Studies. So I just met Kayvon today, and he told me that his wife says the way to pronounce their last name is like enchilada. I will never forget that now. So Kayvon Shevazada, the Dean of College of Engineering and Computer Science. Mary McGuire, the Dean of College of Health and Human Services. Jenny Murphy, our Dean of College of Continuing Education. Stingers up. Greg Shaw, Interim Dean, College of Education. Shannon Detweiler, Interim Dean, College of Natural Sciences and Mathematics. Jean-Francois Coget, Dean of College of Business. And Stephanie Storms, Interim Dean, Graduate and Undergraduate Studies. We are also very happy to have some elected officials with us here this evening, so give it up for Mr. Eric Guerra, Council Member and Mayor Pro Tem for the City of Sacramento. Stingers up, sir. Dustin Johnson, Area 1 Trustee, and Dr. Colette Harris Matthews, Area 5 Trustee for the Los Rios Community College District. And California State Assemblywoman Lori Wilson. And remember that beautiful green dress, because you're going to see her again later. Thank you again all for joining us here this evening. It is now my pleasure to introduce the president of the Alumni Association Board of Directors. Give it up for Rabil Green. Rabil graduated from Sac State with his degree in Communication Studies in 2006. He currently serves as the Career Development and Learning Manager for SMUD. Rabil is passionate about Sacramento State and how we can use technology, data, and personal connections to help serve and engage more alumni. He can regularly be found on campus as well as alumni and athletic events. In addition to leading the Alumni Association, Rabil is a NELP Senior Fellow and proud father of two. We greatly appreciate his leadership, his service, and of course, his time. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Rabil Green.
Thank you, Courtney. Good evening again, and welcome everyone. So the Sacramento State Alumni Association and the university have been presenting Distinguished Alumni Awards to honor outstanding alumni since 1972, some of whom are in the room tonight. So on that note, if you have received an award in the past, please stand right now, and I invite everyone to join me in a round of applause for their ongoing accomplishments. Please stand, prior DAA award recipients. Yes. So before we begin our dinner, I'd like to take a moment to recognize our generous sponsors this evening. Without their support, this event would not be possible. So first, our platinum sponsor, 5 Star Bank. Our gold sponsor, the California State University Foundation. Our silver sponsors, SMUD. Yeah, SMUD, let's go. And Lucid Winery. Yeah. I also want to thank our Sacramento State table sponsors representing the College of Arts and Letters and the College of Social Sciences and Interdisciplinary Studies. Thank you. Yeah. And now it is truly my honor to introduce the 9th president of Sacramento State, Dr. Luke Wood. As you know, President Wood is a 2-time graduate and a very proud Hornet, to say the least. He returned to campus as our president in July 2023 and has been making a tremendous impact ever since. It is a great time to be a Hornet. Please join me in welcoming President Luke Wood.
All right, well, thank you everyone for being here this evening. Singers up. All right. We're here to celebrate and acknowledge the contributions of an outstanding class of distinguished alumni. These individuals we recognize tonight have demonstrated excellence as leaders in their respective fields and as pillars within our community. When their names come up in conversation, I never miss an opportunity to let people know that these individuals were made at Sac State. In short, these distinguished alumni are truly serving the university, and they're making us all look very good. Thanks in part to this incredible work that our distinguished alumni have done, Sacramento State is growing every day. Here's just some recent facts about Sacramento State. Right now, we are the largest we have ever been for in-person. We are at over 31,000 students. Over the last 10 years, the university has been on a trajectory to increase graduation rates with a framework that was created by President Nelson, and we have continued that work and been very Excited to see that we have now completed graduation 2025 with a 256% increase in graduation rates over the last 10 years. We are now the only currently institution in the state to be recognized as a Black serving institution. Our applications for fall, let's just say that everybody wants to be here. We're up 32% in advance of fall, which is astronomical. We just opened up a new basic needs center, which is serving our students in our community. You'll hear a little bit more about that a little bit later tonight. We have 2 new residence halls that are being built, and we also have a number of really fun hires that have happened in the past couple of years, including our provost, Dr. Erica Cameron, who is an amazing leader within our community. And we're doing all this good work, hard work, to ensure that Sacramento State and our alumni know that they are loved and that we can acknowledge and honor the time that they spent here. We're at a really unique time here in the history of Sacramento State where everything is kind of hitting in a really good way. We are on the rise. We are on the move. Great things are happening for the students community. The students want to be here. They're graduating at the highest rates they ever have, which is the most important thing that we do. And then the thing that happens after that is they then go out into the community. And they go out into the community with usually a desire to create a better world for other people. There's something about Sacramento State grads that is the DNA of who they are. A desire for something better, for this city, for this community, for this nation. And tonight we get to celebrate the best among us. Those who have dedicated themselves in their lives and their careers to uplifting others, to representing Sacramento State, and to ensuring that every time we say made it Sac State or Stingers Up, we get to be even more proud. So when they come to the stage tonight, and you're going to see this, I want you to cheer for them like the rock stars that they are. Many of you have been to Golden One, and we go wild when there's a shot that is made, right? Like, let's make sure that we celebrate them like the amazing human beings that they are today. So thank you all for being here, and Stingers Up.
All right, thank you, Dr. Wood. Okay, so at this time, again, we appreciate everything that everyone in this room does for Sacramento State's community, all of our students, all the work that gets poured into those individuals. Our awards presentation will begin after dinner, so please continue to enjoy the food, the good company. Just a note, the wine and beer will continue to be available at the patio bar until just before the start of the program with the awards. So that's going to be at 7:30. I don't have a watch on and I don't have a phone nearby, but you all have your phones. So you see what time it is. So don't at the last minute be like, oh, I forgot to refill my, listen, get the Chardonnay now, okay? Because 7:30, that bar shuts down. All right? Enjoy dinner. We'll be back. Just a note for your table mates. We've got broccolini, we've got carrots, all kinds of things. Please do not let your table mate leave with broccolini stuck in their teeth. Don't do that. Don't be that person. We love green and gold, but not in your teeth, okay? So please be a good table neighbor and help your neighbors out. Enjoying dinner, yes. Good. Are you guys ready to get the awards presentations started this evening? Excellent. Well, let's do it. Tonight, of course, a very important evening for Sacramento State. It's alumni, it's friends, it's supporters. It's a night where we honor and recognize distinguished individuals. These are individuals who not only shine in their own right, but also whose achievements shed light on the powerful impact and influence that is Sacramento State. Through their contributions and achievements, we are all very proud, and that's why we're gathered here this evening to acknowledge these individuals. This year, we pay tribute to the prestigious group of individuals who have achieved a high level of distinction in their fields as well as in our community. This is a group that is deemed worthy of having bestowed the honor upon them of Distinguished Alumni Award. I'm pleased to share that earlier this evening, each honoree was presented with a California Assembly Certificate of recognition, from Assembly Member Maggie Krell, acknowledging their contributions and their achievements. So, ladies and gentlemen, we will go on and introduce you to our first honoree. It's my pleasure to introduce Kinsey Murphy, our first Lifetime Achievement Award recipient. The Lifetime Achievement Award recognizes alumni with exceptional career achievements, exceptional contributions to the campus as well as the community, and who have set high standards of excellence in their personal and professional lives. Kinsey's career spans over 3 decades, serving the Sacramento region across medical, educational, and public service settings where her compassionate expertise and gentle approach have made her a favorite of clients across her lifespan, particularly, though, with infants and children. Her commitment to the next generation of professionals is evident in her work mentoring hundreds of Sacramento State speech-language pathology and audiology students as the clinical instructor in the Department of Communications Sciences and Disorders. Now, the same dedication extends to her perennial support of the Mary Jane Reese Language, Speech, and Hearing Center clinics, which provide free services to over 900 community members every year. Kinsey's impact reaches beyond Sacramento. She has served as a consultant to early intervention programs in American Samoa, providing critical services to children while supervising Sacramento State students in meaningful international learning experiences. So, ladies and gentlemen, our first Lifetime Achievement Award recipient, Kinsey Murphy.
We'll take a quick share.
Oh, there she is.
Yeah.
Whoa.
All right, and I'll fit it right here.
Okay, thank you. I was going to say, wow. Anyway, I would like to express my extreme gratitude to the Alumni Association and to the Health and Human Services and CSAD department for this nomination. It kind of surprised me that I really had done all this when I was just going along doing what I love to do. And I would like to offer my congratulations to the other honorees for their contributions to the campus community. I've been doing this work for now, they said three decades, but it's longer. And it's never been a dull moment, as they say. I've worked in various settings with clients and patients across the age span. The youngest was a 31-week preemie, and the oldest was 106. Yeah. And in between, we had many disorders. Over these 40 or so years, a couple of experiences really stand out. And one of them was the experience in American Samoa, setting up and developing their Birth to 3 early intervention program, which had just been required, part of the IDEA Act. They had to provide special services to the entire school-age population from birth to high school. So I managed to get there, and I set up procedures. I had to translate stuff and make it work, and adapting materials and to be used with non-English speaking families, train the home visitors and the parents, and all of this was being done in a culture, a very different culture from mine. So I was exposed to the cross-cultural experience, and very early on I learned eyes and ears open, mouth shut. Observe and then work. The island is small, volcanic, and beautiful, and we had many adventures because we had to drive around to all the homes. They didn't come to us. To visit families. There were no road signs half the time. Steep roads, backing up the hill was a frequent occasion. And there was no other speech pathologist on the island, I was called to see kids in the hospital, in the schools, and to observe and help problem solve for that population. I loved the place, the people, my colleagues, but it was a long commute to Hawaii, then 5 hours south across the equator, almost to the dateline. So it was a long way. And the plane only flew 3 days a week. But spent a lot of time staring at the ocean, so to speak, and at night you would wake up and you would look at the stars and they're all wrong because they're different when you're in the southern hemisphere. It's really kind of cool. My other favorite activity was guiding student clinicians as a clinical instructor and watching their skills and clinical intuition emerge and develop as they moved through the program to become professionals, colleagues, and friends, and watched them, what's the word I want, provide the gift of communication to so many others. So that's been my best part. As an alumna, it has been very important to me to, quote, give back, supporting students through scholarships, basic needs programs, support of the clinic endowment. This type of support will become ever more important in the future, I feel, and I urge you to consider participating in any way you can. So I want to say thanks to you for this honor, and to my family all over there at table 1. It's a long, patient husband of 61 years. Son and daughter-in-law and daughter and a niece and nephew-in-law. So welcome, family. And thank you for being there for me all those years. I appreciate it. So thank you to all of you, and may you have a fabulous evening. This eldering is a pain.
She says this eldering is a pain. She makes it look effortless, though. Ladies and gentlemen, Kinsey Murphy. All right, our next honoree is a Lifetime Achievement Award recipient as well. Ladies and gentlemen, Mahmoud Sharif. Mahmoud came to Sacramento in 1979 as an international student to study mechanical engineering here at Sac State. And while pursuing his degree, he and his brother opened the first Sharif Jewelers right there on Howe Avenue. All Hornets know exactly where Sharif Jewelers is on Howe, right? Yes, absolutely. That launched what would become a family tradition here in the Sacramento area and an institution. That single store has grown into Sharif Plaza and 5 additional locations throughout the region, with their successful family business now spanning 2 generations, including several of his children who are also proud Sac State alumni. His philanthropic impact touches nearly every corner of our community, from supporting local youth sports and law enforcement to the Sacramento Food Bank, as well as Weave, Habitat for Humanity, and countless other refugees and immigrant communities who are seeking to build their own lives here in Sacramento. Mahmoud's vision for bringing people together is reflected in founding the Interfaith Council after 9/11 and establishing the Salam Islamic Center, while his dedication to the Sacramento State community continues through his support of international students, including currently sponsoring a student from Gaza with full tuition, housing, and living expenses. And for that, ladies and gentlemen, Mahmoud Sharif is our second Lifetime Achievement Award recipient.
Salam and peace be upon you all. Good evening, everyone. My name is Mahmoud Sharif, and in Arabic, Mahmoud mean, let me put my glasses, I could see better. So my name is Mahmoud, and in Arabic, Mahmoud means thankful, and Sharif means noble and honorable. So in a way, my name reminds me every day to live with gratitude and integrity, to be thankful for everything, every blessing, and to do my best, live honorably in everything I do. Tonight I stand here deeply thankful for this recognition, for the incredible people who have guided and believed in me, for my family who have been my foundation, for my friends who have been my strength, and for every challenge that taught me something valuable. Receiving this Lifetime Achievement Award is more than an honor. It is a reminder to keep living up to my name, to stay thankful, and to remain honorable in how I give back to others. And I just want to take a moment to thank President Dr. Luke Wood for a great job he does. He took California State University and put it on the map. And as they said, you know, I'm so proud to be at Sac State, and they feature us in Made at Sac State. So 5 of my kids graduated from Sac State. And I'm thankful for my family. They're all right here. I have my wife and my kids and a lot of great friends. And I want to take a moment to thank Professor Iyad Al-Ghazaz. He's been teaching 55 years at campus. What a great job. And we'll share something with you. The first class and the first professor I met at Sac State campus, it was Professor Iyad Al-Ghazaz. I arrived at San Francisco. I came to Sacramento 7 in the evening. 8 in the morning, I was at his class. And guess what? I get A+. Great job, Iyad, and keep it up. You know, we love you. And he's really one of our pillars in the community. We worked together and served in many boards, and he's still going. Many happy more years and healthy years to you. And I want to take a chance to thank another great friend of mine, Dr. Mitwalli Amir. He's hiding in the back. And he's another retired professor of business at Sac State. And he's the one who really helped me through all my life here. In fact, he married me and my wife. And, you know, we call him Doctor of Salam. He's the one established the Salam Islamic Center and is still running strong. And in fact, in a couple of months, they expanded and going another really nice center of Howe Avenue, so it'll be close to campus. And we just take another moment to have a great friends in this table here. I don't want to mention names. I'll stay here 2 hours tonight. But we'll take a moment to say thank you, Qais, for all the things you did for the communities. You are true leaders, and we learn a lot from you. And next to him is Usama Hassoun. He's my neighbor. See, every time I need an MC, I call him a day before. Say, Usama. But he always comes through, and he's a great leader. And we have our friend, you know, Tariq Munir, He's the owner of most of IHOPs in town, and he's really helped great in our community. He's another billers. And another friend, Qais, he's with the Sheriff Department, so we protected tonight. We safe. And I could go on, but I just want to thank you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you for this. This is a great award, and it'll keep me going and helping and doing great job for this. Sacramento is a great place, and we blessed. I'll end it up with saying, you don't have to be rich and famous to be a hornet. Stir that up.
He tricked us because I was going to say to shop at Sharif. You know you were going to say it too, right? He tricked us. Ladies and gentlemen, Mahmoud Sharif. Our next honoree is Ronald Fong, our first Distinguished Service Award recipient of the evening. The Distinguished Service Award recognizes alumni with exceptional career achievements dedicated to service in the community and who have set high standards of excellence in their personal and professional lives. Now, Ron has served as president and CEO of the California Grocers Association since 2008, growing it into the state's largest grocery association, representing over 300 retailers and 250 suppliers. Under his leadership, CGA has navigated major policy milestones, including California's landmark plastic bag ban, and guided the industry through the unprecedented challenges of the COVID pandemic, where he was appointed by Governor Newsom to both the Economic Recovery Task Force and the State Community Vaccine Task Force. Ron's grocery roots run deep as a Sacramento native. His grandfather opened the family's first store in 1941, instilling values that have guided his career from his early days as a lobbyist to his current role as president and CEO. Ron also oversees CGA Educational Foundation, which provides scholarships to grocery industry families and their employees and their families, and ensures that the next generation has access to educational opportunities just like the one that he received here at Sac State. So, ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming this Distinguished Service Award recipient, Ronald Fong.
All right, I'm going to put my glasses on first so I don't have that awkward moment. And thanks to Courtney, I'm very paranoid that I have broccolini in my teeth. So give me a signal or something if that happens, okay? Well, first of all, thank you, Dr. Wood, for this very honorable award. I was very surprised when I got the call that I was going to join these distinguished people up here. Now, the Fong family has a history at Sac State and many graduates. My mom, who is 89 now, and my sister graduated here as well. Now, the story about my mom is she came here in her 40s with English as her second language, and then graduated about the same time as my sister did. So she also worked for, our family business. So if that's not inspiration for my sisters and I don't know what is. So Dr. Wood, Sac State does a lot for all of our families. Well, while I graduated in I never really came back to campus until I was appointed onto the CSU Foundation Board, 2019. Then Dr. Nelson called and said he needed some help with the food pantry here on campus, and pretty much volunteered me that I would help him. Who better to call than the grocery guy to fill those pantries? We fixed that place up And boy, what a need there was for that. And I guess now would be the time to tell you some sobering statistics as we enjoy our evening tonight. About 25% of our students here on campus are food insecure. 25%. Think about that. By definition, that means that they don't know where their next meal is coming from. When we polled these students, they said that it was more important for them to pay tuition than to eat dinner that night. Think about that for a moment. If you look really hard, you'll probably notice somebody sleeping in their car on campus just because of that very fact. So when Dr. Wood and I met, that was top of mind for him. And if you know Dr. Wood, he's a visionary, right? He was going to take the food pantry one step further. And he shared with me this idea of not just a food pantry, but a basic needs resource store. This was a place where anybody could come late in the evenings even for our night students, grab a quick snack, a frozen dinner, whatever the case might be, to get them through the week. He asked if we could help, so I rounded up my fellow Hornets alums right here on this table, Brianne Page, and Jennifer Gold, and convinced them that philanthropy makes you feel good in other ways that can't be measured in dollars and cents. So I put the bug in them, and they're the next generation that will keep this place rolling, the Resource Center. So we worked with the fantastic Dr. Jeannie, who's here somewhere in this room, but we toured the Resource Center earlier today. Man, how impressive that was to see the store all put together. I think in the grand scheme of things, we got some lifetime supply of Pepsi products due to some arm twisting from us and all the toilet paper you could probably need. That was one of the not so fond memories of COVID. Do you remember all that? I was your guy that had to go on TV and tell you guys to quit hoarding toilet paper. The funny story about the Resource Center is Dr. Jeannie called me up and said, I'm having a tough time getting supplies fast enough. I'm driving to Costco to fill the shelves. And I go, no, let me call one of our wholesalers. And it took a little while, longer than I would like, because I'm not a patient person. And I asked Dr. Jeannie, did they supply you yet? And she said, no. So I called our contact over there. I said, what's the problem? You got to supply this store here. It's important. And they said, we haven't got a credit app from them yet. I go, seriously, you need a credit app from the CSU? I think they're good for it. Let me just vouch. So with that, they got the ball rolling, and Dr. Jeannie's just done a fantastic job. Anyway, Dr. Wood, again, it's been my great honor to serve this fantastic university, bring my friends along that you've built and visualized. Together, I know that the California Grocers will always be partners with our beloved alma mater. Go Sac State. Stingers up, everybody. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, Ronald Fong. It's so funny when he was coming up to the stage. I was like, hey, that's the toilet paper soundbite guy. We absolutely ran that soundbite. Stop hoarding the toilet paper. Our next recipient of the Distinguished Service Award is Dr. Art Pimentel. Art is a public servant at heart. His journey started by serving as Sacramento State's student body president and then continued as city council member and now mayor of the city of Woodland, as well as president of Woodland Community College and now as president of Folsom Lake College. Under his leadership at Folsom Lake College, enrollment has increased by 32% with significant progress in closing equity gaps for disproportionately impacted students, while he has cultivated strong partnerships that secured a record-breaking $2.5 million donation from Sutter Health. His commitment to expanding educational access is evident in his work strengthening collaborations with K-12 districts to create dual enrollment opportunities, which is a passion that began during his time as the Dean of Sacramento City College's West Sacramento Center, and there he helped establish an early college high school. Beyond his professional roles, Art has served on numerous boards, including the Mexican-American Concilio of Yolo County, Woodland Healthcare, and the Sacramento Cleaner Air Partnership, demonstrating his dedication to improving the quality of life throughout the region. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in congratulating Art Pimentel, Distinguished Award recipient.
All right, good evening, everyone. First and foremost, I want to thank the Alumni Association for this recognition. It's really means a lot. It's incredible. I've been back here a few times since I have graduated. Many times, right? Jenny Murphy back there? But it's absolutely incredible to be back here in the university that really helped me open many doors. And it's one of the reasons that I am in education now, in higher education, and never imagined in my wildest dreams that I would actually be a college president myself. But it's because of the institution, because of the people, the faculty at Sacramento State, the mentors that I had, that I was able to actually achieve graduating with my bachelor's and then my master's degree. I really want to credit the College Assistant Migrant Program. And if you're not familiar with the College Assistant Migrant Program, it's a program that really helps to bring in students who are first generation, low income students, that really provides them not just the mentorship, but the sense of belonging to see other students that look like them, other faculty members that look like them, or that have the same cultural experiences as them. And that is absolutely critical. And I know that many people, because I've had the pleasure of greeting many of you in this room, serve such an important role to the success of the students here. You serve as mentors. Sharif mentioned that earlier, just how important that collaboration and that mentorship is for the success of students. And I know that I would not have been able to accomplish my degrees and find my way if it wasn't for that navigational capital. I also want to just give a shout out to student government. Let's give a shout out. Our future is in good hands. I met the president and I met all of the board of directors. And at one point, 24 years ago, I was in your seat with Donald Girth. And I got the opportunity to meet people as well and connect with community members that had the same passions as well. And I'm so impressed with this board of directors, the president, the vice president. They're out working the room better than many of us are doing out there and getting to know people. And that's exactly why. And it's the leadership that this institution instills that really provides that avenue and that opportunity. So congratulations. I also want to acknowledge my parents are here. So I want to acknowledge their hard work because they believed in me before I believed in myself and worked extremely hard so that I could have the opportunity to be here. And I also want to, my sister and her partner are also here. And of course, my beautiful daughter, Isabella. I want to acknowledge my Los Rios family. Where's the Los Rios family? Los Rios Community College District is an incredible district as well. I know our chancellor is here, Dr. Brian King. We have two of our trustees, Dr. Colette Harris Matthews and, yes, Dustin Johnson. And many of our colleagues who believe in this goal and this mission and the partnership of working closely with Sacramento State so that we can continue to improve outcomes for our students, especially our most marginalized communities in our region, so that we can improve outcomes. And Dr. Luke Wood has been an incredible partner. And believe it or not, Dr. Wood and I, when I ran for student body president back in 2000, we were on the same slate. And we took over student government back in 2001. So pay it forward, continue the work, and just thank you for this incredible honor and just recognition. I appreciate the opportunity, and to me, this is just about paying it forward to our community, because the reality is that education is the great equalizer in our society. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, Art Pimentel. Our next Distinguished Service Award recipient is Mr. Peter Tatishi. Peter has led the Associated General Contractors of California as CEO since 2018, transforming it into a powerhouse organization with record contractor membership and over 85% engagement, while significantly expanding both staff and revenue. His leadership extends beyond business growth, as Peter has enhanced the Construction Education Foundation to provide innovative workforce development services, including the launch of Build California and AGC Emerging Leaders, expanding its impact sixfold. Before joining AGC, Peter's career included serving as president and CEO of the Sacramento Metropolitan Chamber of Commerce, CEO of the Sacramento Regional Builders Exchange, and chief of staff to Congressman Dan Lundgren, where he helped to secure significant federal appropriations for the district. His deep commitment to community service is reflected in his extensive board involvement, including serving 6 years on the Sacramento Planning Commission, the Salvation Army Advisory Board, and as founder and past chairman of the Carmichael Recreation and Park District Foundation, demonstrating his dedication to improving the region that he calls home. Ladies and gentlemen, our Distinguished Service Award recipient, Peter Tatishi.
Let me lower the mic. Thank you. Thank you, President Wood, and to the Alumni Association. This is truly an amazing honor to be able to be here tonight and to be recognized as an alumni. This school has been an important part of my life, since I was born. Some of my earliest memories are actually my parents bringing us to this campus, walking the Guy West Bridge, and experiencing what it is to be here. Both my parents, who are here tonight, are graduates of Sac State, and they instilled in us, they instilled in me and my brother and my sister this passion to say, you need to push yourself to actually engage and work to better not just yourself, but the communities that you live in. And Sac State was a huge part of that. The foundation of the education that I received here really helped me understand that I have to stay curious, that I have to think differently, critically, hold many perspectives, and really support the idea that you engage. And I will credit President Girth. When I was here, I got very involved in the county and in a lot of boards and commissions, which took away, I'll say, the opportunities to actually get paid jobs, to actually pay for college. And so I had to find ways to do both. But he actually awarded me a scholarship, and that supported me being able to actually kind of volunteer in my community by paying my tuition my final year here. And so that really did help me be able to actually say it is important to give back and to be involved in your community. And that is something that I'm very proud of. Some of the work that I've been able to be a part of early on. And so at a young age, from my parents' raisings, it was this idea that at some point, the community I live in is going to be the community that my family is going to live in. And so being involved in the parks was a huge passion of mine. Getting to open 4 new parks that my kids now actually play in is phenomenal. When I was 19 doing that, I had no idea that I would have 4 amazing children who are also here tonight, and that they would actually benefit from those things. But the idea that when we invest in our communities, when we invest this way, we are actually making a difference for future generations, and things that we may not know at that moment will benefit, but then see it, it's huge. So I appreciate the fact that Sac State has supported I'll say my growth in that foundation to be able to do all of these things. I'm also grateful because Sac State is a huge partner in what I do now with the Associated General Contractors of California. And so we have an amazing AGC student chapter here at Sac State, tied to our engineering and construction management. And if you don't know about construction, you need to, because it is the best kept secret. Our careers are opportunities at both the craft level, so apprenticeship routes without, I'll say, needing the degree, and the routes while needing a degree. We have so many opportunities, and that is one of the best, I'll say, kept secrets, is that we can provide for a quality of life that is tremendous across the state of California, across the country. And the work you do has meaning, and it has impact. It transforms, just like I was saying earlier, when you invest in those early times, it transforms for next generations. When we are investing in building our infrastructure and our future, we are investing in the future of the next generations of Californians. And that's what I love about the job that I get to do now at AGC of California, is that we are supporting members building this state. And so that when my children, maybe they'll graduate from Sac State, their mother wants them to go to West Point, but I want them to go to Sac State. When they graduate, I want them to be able to say, I'm going to choose California. And so if we aren't investing in California's infrastructure, if we aren't investing in building the communities and the quality of life, not just maintaining it, but investing in its future to make it even better, they're not going to have that choice. And so what I get to do every day with AGC is really make sure that we are talking to wonderful elected officials who are leading that effort, and being able to say we are going to make California better for that next generation, and they can choose California. So I'm so proud, and I want to thank my AGC staff and my members, who are several of you here, for everything that you do to help us bring that vision to life, to helping us make a better California and a better tomorrow. So thank you to AGC. I have to shout out to my cheering crowd out there, my wonderful ALF Class 20. Thank you very much for being here. And finally, I want to thank my wife, Anna, who I'll say does everything to support my abilities to actually go across the country and talk about careers in construction, the impact that construction has. Without what you do and supporting and raising our kids without me, candidly, a lot of the times, we couldn't be doing this. We couldn't be building a better future for them. So thank you so much. Love you and appreciate everything. Thank you for Sac State. This is a great honor.
Congratulations again to Peter Tatishi, to Anna, his wife. Anna, I know you're over there somewhere. Anna, darling, West Point is amazing. I agree. It's amazing. Just a shout out though, Sac State has an ROTC program. So you could do the whole, right? And then the home of the hornet, like the nurturing, I'm just saying, plugging it out. Okay, all right. Just saying. Good saying. Congratulations, Peter. Next up, our next Distinguished Service Award recipient is Shelly Wetton. Shelly has served as Senior Vice President and Chief Marketing Officer at 5 Star Bank since 2018, where she has defined the bank's corporate culture and brand narrative, developing its purpose, core values, and mission statement while creating marketing strategies that are rich in depth and scope. Her commitment to the Sacramento State community runs deep, as Shelly advocated for 5 Star Bank to step in as a multi-year sponsor of the Business Honors Program when it was on the brink of being discontinued. She personally started teaching marketing classes to students and helping to establish the bank's Accelerated Leadership Track program that has hired many program graduates. Aside from her work at 5 Star, Shelley serves on multiple nonprofit boards, including 3 Strands Global Foundation, American River Parkway Foundation, and the Sacramento Metropolitan Chamber of Commerce, using her marketing expertise to provide free exposure to nonprofits through cable news, social media, and billboard campaigns. Her innovative approach has directed thousands of dollars in free advertising to organizations like the United Way California Capital Region, as well as Sacramento Food Bank and Family Services and Breathe California, amplifying the voices and missions of nonprofits that make a significant impact in our region. Ladies and gentlemen, our Distinguished Service Award recipient, Shelley Wetton.
Oh my goodness, this is so much fun. Congratulations to my fellow honorees tonight and a 5 Star Bank client, Peter Tatishi. You know, I never thought I would be up here because I was an English major. And English majors develop an inferiority complex, and it starts around the 3rd grade when we realize we're not mathy. Mathy kids become the engineers, the scientists, the doctors, the architects, the CPAs. Then there are us, the others who do not. So we have to figure out a really strong plan B pretty fast. And for me, that was writing. And it was here at Sacramento State that I learned that being an English major actually had some utility. So this is 30 years ago. I'm in one of those required survey courses that no one wants to take. And the entire purpose, goal, and objective of the class is simply to get students to write. And so I put this class off until my senior year because all I ever did was write my entire life. So I'm at the first day of this class 30 years ago. And the professor is going down roll call. And he comes to my name and he says, Shelley Ronan? And that was my maiden name. And I'm like, yeah? I mean, I'm an English major. I don't want to be seen, heard, acknowledged. I'm in the back of the room. And I raise my hand. He says, I want to see you after class. I thought, oh my gosh, what could I have possibly done? It's the first day. So I see him. And he looks at me. And he looks me up and down. And he says, you're an English major. And you're a senior. I said, yeah, these are things I usually feel I have to apologize for. And he says, how about you grade all my papers this semester. You don't step foot in class, and you get an A. And I said, deal. So I did. And, I was like savage beast mode grader. And I felt uniquely qualified for this because this is what I'd been doing for my whole life. And I thought things were going really well. I thought I was doing a great job until he wants to see me in his office hours. So, okay, it's halfway through the semester, so I see him. And he says, you are really hard on those students. He's like, you need to lighten up. You need to lower your standard. And I looked at him and I said, in this uncharacteristic moment of defiance, I said, no, I'm not lowering my standard for anyone. And with that, I turned on my heel, I walked out of his office. And you know that we've all had those moments where regret immediately sets in. And I'm like, what did I just do? I'm getting an F in the class. I'm not getting into graduate school. And my parents had told me, Shelley, with an English degree, you're going to flip burgers. You need a master's degree or a PhD. And I thought, oh my gosh, my entire future is up in flames. I'm not getting into grad school now. So I go back into the professor's office a week later, but waiting for me was a big, thick, heavy stack of papers to grade. And so I finished the semester, I got my A, and I like to think the students learned a little something, but what I learned was to never back down, to never lower my standard, to never compromise. And this really served me well because I landed at 5 Star Bank. And it was at 5 Star Bank that I learned that we never compromise. You know, we don't compromise when it comes to our deep commitment to our clients, our advocacy for our community, our steadfast commitment to so many initiatives in the Capital Region that lead and shape it, including education, so critically important to us. And it's because of Five Star Bank that I'm standing here tonight. It's because of my colleagues. Thank you guys for creating an incredible brand story that I get to tell. And I'm just so grateful for it. And I get to, it's not about me sharing my voice at all. It's about me giving a voice to our clients, and especially our nonprofit clients. I get to amplify their impact and what they do and their incredible work. And by virtue of doing that, I'm standing here. Thank you guys. I just love and adore you all. You're my family. You know, I know, Sharif, you have a huge family here tonight, and I think that's a beautiful thing, and Peter and so many others, but you guys are my family. I've worked with you, and I've known so many of you for 20 years. I'm so grateful. Thank you. Thank you, James Beckwith, President and CEO of Five Star Bank. Yeah. The mark of a great leader is in their ability to identify potential in those who often don't see it in themselves. I certainly did not. James, you hired an English major at a financial institution. It's the irony of my life. I say this a lot because it's the truth. But I'm so deeply grateful. I know so many are impacted by James in this room and everyone at our table. You know, we've been given opportunity to be part of something much bigger than ourselves. We do not work for a company, we work for a cause. And it's because of your leadership and your commitment. You're pulling people up next to you. And I'm so grateful I'm just part of that story. Thank you. Thank you to my husband. You know, the people closest to us often suffer the most because they're with us during, you know, when we're challenged or have that self-doubt or that English major inferiority complex. And you're always pulling me up, honey. I love you. Thank you. And thank you, Sacramento State. Thank you for acknowledging the storyteller. Thank you for amplifying the voice of someone like me who's in the background. And I'm just so grateful. Thank you, Dr. Wood. Behind stage tonight, we were talking, and he was just so kind and gave me encouragement and inspiration. I'm so grateful. Stingers up. Thank you, guys.
Ladies and gentlemen, Shelley Wetton. Now, we've got one more Distinguished Service Award recipient this evening, and this is Assemblywoman Lori Wilson. In April of 2022, Lori was elected to represent California's 11th Assembly District, quickly making history as the first freshman legislator elected chair of the California Legislative Black Caucus and the only Black woman in state history appointed chair of the influential Assembly Transportation Committee. Her leadership in the Assembly has been defined by championing policies that create quality jobs, improve public safety, and enhance the quality of life for her constituents and for all Californians, including Governor Newsom's appointment to the Governor's Military Council, reflecting her commitment to supporting military families. Before her election to the Assembly, Lori made history closer to home as the first female mayor, a Black female mayor in Solano County history, serving on the Suisun City Council beginning in 2012 as mayor from 2018. Her dedication to bringing state services directly to those who need them most continues her grandfather's legacy of advocacy, focusing on helping individuals as well as local businesses, veterans, nonprofits, and local governments navigating agencies like the Employment Development Department to access the support that they deserve. Ladies and gentlemen, Distinguished Service Award recipient, Assemblywoman Lori Wilson.
Well, I have laryngitis. I feel like Ariel and from The Little Mermaid, so I won't be long. But I want to say thank you to Dr. Wood and the Alumni Association for this award, and thank you to my fellow honorees. It is a pleasure, an honor to be counted amongst such wonderful people doing wonderful things in our community. Me coming to Sac State, I was a young wife and mother. My husband was stationed at Travis Air Force Base, and we transferred here, and I got to go along 80 to make my way here. I had 2 kids under the age of 5, and one of them came with me. I feel like he was also made at Sac State because he was in the child care, even though he's at Northridge right now. But coming to Sac State really was an act of self-care. I was a young military wife with these children who didn't like to have deep conversations. At that time, it was about Barney and fighting over getting dressed out of PJs into real clothes to leave the house, right? And so when I got to come to this campus, I got to be, I felt like an adult again, right? I felt like I got to be my own person. And so that's what being at Sac State was me. It was an act of self-care. Little did I know that the investments that were made in me by my professors, the investment by my counselors, the investment by my fellow students would be something that I would carry with me even today at the Capitol. And I'm proud to be able to say that I'm giving a return on the investment that Sac State and the Sac State community has made in me. And it is a deep honor to do the work that I do. And I'll leave you with this, and it's something that it was cultivated while serving on the council in Sassoon City, but it really started here. It started in my business classes when we articulate what it meant to have a quality of life. And then I remember saying that on the dais, and it stayed with me on the work that I do. And it is that every single person has a right to a high quality of life. Every single person has a right to define what that looks like for themselves. And my only job as a government leader, a community leader, is to facilitate that. Thank you so much for the honor.
Assemblywoman Lori Wilson, congratulations. Yes. Now, our next award is the Honorary Alumnus Award. This is given to friends of the university who have demonstrated a close affinity to the campus, as well as those who have rendered exceptional support and leadership to the university or to the Alumni Association. So it is now my pleasure to introduce Brandon Gonzalez. He's the recipient of the Honorary Alumnus Award. Now, Brandon came to Sacramento State after a distinguished amateur and professional boxing career that saw him ranked as the #1 light heavyweight amateur boxer in the United States in the year 2005, and fighting professionally on major platforms. You may have seen him on HBO, ESPN, and Showtime. After retiring from the ring, he co-founded Flawless Boxing and Fitness here in Sacramento. That's a gym that is designed to empower youth through boxing, fitness, and life skills that steer young people toward purpose and leadership, along with an associated nonprofit called Flawless for Youth that provides scholarships for at-risk youth. His commitment to the Sacramento State community is evident in his revival of the university's historic boxing programs after a 50-year hiatus. He's leading the Combat U team to participate in the inaugural Causeway Boxing Classic, where his daughter, Ayana Gonzalez, became the Sacramento State's first female competitive boxer and first female All-American. Yes, it's awesome. Through his work, Brandon has created pathways for at-risk youth throughout the region, running countless community outreach programs that provide positive outlets and mentorship, demonstrating that his greatest victories happen outside the ring. Ladies and gentlemen, the Honorary Alumnus Award goes to Brandon Gonzalez.
Thanks to everybody coming out here tonight, and thanks to the Alumni Association for having me up here on stage, and thank you, President Dr. Luke Wood, for your your support and your confidence in me to develop this program. I never would imagine that my passion would put me in certain spaces like on this stage tonight. 15 years ago, we started towards the tail end of my boxing career. I knew I wanted to use those skills and that accomplishment to give back to my community, to the youth in my community. So we formed Flawless for Youth, which is, like she said, a youth organization where we empower youth through fitness, nutrition, health, and wellness. And we just started out doing free training camps with other organizations here in Sacramento. Partner them up. We do free 6-week training camps. And over the years, we evolved the program to a full-service gym. We offer adults, competitors, and everything like that. But at the heart, we're still a youth boxing gym. So we provide scholarships to kids where they can come train for free for families that can't afford it. We do a bunch of different ways of fundraising to make sure that we always have money in that scholarship fund to make sure we never turn a family away because they can't train. And over the years, we've seen so many kids come through in and out of the gym. And I'm from a space where an old school boxing gym where I see the results of a kid who stays in the boxing gym, gets that structure, gets that guidance, and I also see the horror stories that you see from the kids that leave the boxing gym. So that was really the purpose for Flawless for Youth, is to continue that. And the passion that I talk about, I saw it with Dr. Luke Wood when I spoke to him about the Combat U program. Before I even knew what it was, he told me there'd be a space opening up for boxing to come back to Sac State. And the way he talked about it, his vision about it, his ambition about it, I didn't know entirely what it was at that point, but I knew it's something that I wanted to be a part of. And so here we are, coming into our first year, just finishing up our first year. We had an amazing first year. We sent 4 boxers to the Nationals. These students came in here. Most of them had never even boxed longer than a year. And so I gathered my team who are here, Coach Joel right here, Janelle, and we went to work with some of the best colleges in the country that have programs for 10, 20, 30 years. And, like I said, we sent 4 boxers to Nationals, something that's never been done in the first year as a program. And it's really due to the hard work and the support not only of the students but of the team that I have. So again, we've had great support from our leadership, and I think what really connects this pathway that we started from Flawless for Youth, because we really get the youth when they come into us at elementary, middle school, high school, and I didn't have anywhere for them really after high school. I give a story about a kid that I had come to me, showed a little bit of promise in boxing, showed a little bit of promise in football. And when I look at that, when I look at the family and I tell him what's next after high school, I can't tell him to sit down and still go forward with boxing and pursue college through boxing, because there was no pathway for it. Football, you have the chance of getting a scholarship, getting your school paid for, and moving on with your professional career. Now with the Combat U program, we do have that opportunity. I can sit down with the kid and say, you can continue your pathway going into college because of the opportunity that Combat U has presented to these students. So again, I couldn't be more proud to be a part of this program. I watched my daughter's mom go through the Sac State Master's program and the stress that brings, and now I have the opportunity to coach and mentor my daughter, who's also a Sac State student in her second year, part of the Sac State boxing team. And I get to play the role of boxing coach and dad, and sometimes those lines get blurred in a lot of situations. So, but again, I'm thankful for our leadership, Mark Orr, Hector Ferrado, and President Luke Wood. And for having their support and letting us develop this boxing program. My objective is to make this boxing program one of the biggest in the world, where we have students from all over the world come into Sac State to be a part of this program. So I'm glad to be a part of it. Stingers up. Thank you so much.
Congratulations again to Brandon Gonzalez. All right. One more round of applause for all of this evening's honorees. Yes. Their dedication and commitment is truly inspiring. I also want to take one moment to recognize again our sponsors. So our platinum sponsor, 5 Star Bank. And our gold sponsor, the California State University Foundation, for their support and inspiration this evening. Please join me in a round of applause again for all of tonight's sponsors all together, because obviously an event like this cannot be put together just, with a couple people. This takes a village, right, to put together. Yes. Have you enjoyed the evening? Yes, I certainly have. I am always proud to come on campus. I'm very proud to be made at Sac State, and this is a reason, this evening is another glowing example of why it's such a big deal to be made at Sac State. So we've had a wonderful time. And to all of those who are supporters of the Sac State family, we thank you. We appreciate you as well. We hope that you will be at more events in the future. At this point, I want to bring Jennifer back up to the stage. Jennifer Barber, who is amazing.
Well, we can't let her go too far because she has made the evening what it was and amazing. So let's give it up for Courtney. We will take Courtney to MC any day. We love it. So thank you. I'd also like to thank President Wood and everybody in attendance for your ongoing support of the Alumni Association and our programs. It means the world to have so many people show up and say it was a long program, and you stayed. Thank you. It was amazing. And last but not least, I want to recognize the hard work and effort of the staff and many volunteers it takes to put on an event like this. So, round of applause for the team. And with that, please feel free to stay and mingle with each other. Our honorees, you were a very social group, so I'm sure that would be no problem. And like Courtney said, we hope to see you at future events. Drive safe. Thank you, and good night.